put backups in. Like, it seemed like 20 years ago, you put the backups in and you just handed it off and milking the clock and all that. Going from that thought process, maybe in your mind, to we put the backups in, we need to be able to run everything, and it makes us better.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it was just the game was so different back then. I mean, we were kind of in a milk the clock mode the whole game. You know, you just didn't. And then, but as the game changed, you know, you are who you are. So when you put the backups in, you can't all of a sudden be something that you're not. You know, that's not what they practice. So I think that's the biggest difference. Back when I played, and the game was over, so to speak, you put the backups in. Well, just still ran the eye and ran the toss and ran the clock. And, you know, maybe you didn't call that one play action. You just ran it one more time and punted. You know, so nowadays that's. I mean, you have to run your offense. And you can hand it off. I mean, that's what we did up at Wake. I mean, we just handed it off. But guys are still wanting to go play. They're excited to play. And then from our standpoint, like with Chase, we need him to have to. I mean, like that third down throw he made to DK on the outcut, opposite hash to the far hash. Man, what a play! And that was a play designed to go into the boundary. And just his recognition, he found a soft corner and confidence to pull the trigger and rip it out there on time. You know, that's just what we do, and he needs that. He needs to be able to play. So, you know, we try to just run our offense. I mean, you know, we're not going to run a double pass or anything like that, but we, you know, I think coaches understand when you're playing within your scheme and when you're trying to embarrass somebody. I think there's a difference there.
At this point in the season, you've got 8 games of film on your opponents. They've got 8 games of film on you. So, especially from an offensive standpoint, you have to kind of take into account, especially now they've seen this group together, you know, maybe anticipate we've got to give a different look here than we would have to run a certain play. I mean, get that intricate in terms of the thought process.
Oh yeah. I mean, every week you're going to have game plan tweaks. You're always studying your tendencies, and then you try to use those tendencies to your advantage. And that's what good coaches and good teams do. But at the end of the day, you are who you are. After 8 games, you're not going to come in and all of a sudden be something that you're not. And at this stage of football in the season, you're either good enough to do what you do or you're not. And the teams that can impose their will upon the opponent are the ones who win. You know, and the teams that can play with discipline and take care of the ball and not have stupid penalties and be relentless in special teams. That's the teams that win. I mean, we're not going to line up and all of a sudden, hey, we're going to just trick everybody and run the triple option game 9. I mean, we are who we are. We're going to run the zone. We're going to run the power. We're going to run the counter. We're going to get on the edge a little bit. We're going to play action you. That's what we do. And, you got to be good enough to stop it. And we have to be good enough to execute versus whatever we see. It's the same thing as far as who we are defensively. We're gonna create a new line of scrimmage. We're gonna attack. We're gonna be in and out of multiple fronts. We're gonna pressure. We're gonna play some zone coverage. We're gonna play a lot of man coverage. We're gonna give you multiple looks on the back end. We move our front. That's who we are. So we're either good enough to do what we do better than what you do, or we're not. And that's really what it comes down to at this time of year. You go all the way back to the first game, or the second game. Might as well have been the first game at Texas A&M. We didn't know who they were, and we weren't really sure who we were. It's a little different deal because you just don't have any tape. I mean, there's lots of unknown. To me, openers are always the hardest games to prepare for. There's new people, new coaches. I mean, it's a lot of times you've spent your whole preparation studying other teams, and this time of year, it's great to be able to sit down and watch the people that you're going to play. And you get a feel. And it's a lot of good stuff, man. And at the end of the day, you have to be better at what you do than they are at what they do at this point in time. And that's what it comes down to. And if you got 2 teams that are pretty evenly matched, And there's going to be some wins and losses on both sides. There's going to be some good plays and bad plays on both sides. So then it's going to come down to a few plays. This time of year, the margin for error gets really smaller. And it usually in championship football, it's 3 or 4 plays.
You can, I'm sure, have turned on any 5 minutes of film and seen the arm talent with Trevor. Do you remember the first time you sat down with him and like talked ball with him and kind of got the mental side back from him and what your impressions were of that?
Yeah, it wasn't until he got here in January for me, as far as sitting down and just talking ball with him. You know, other than just general conversation, I mean, you could tell he was a really sharp kid, but until you get into the intricacies of a meeting and installation and all the stuff that you're trying to do within your system, that's a whole nother deal. But first time I saw him throw live was he came to camp. I guess going in his junior year. Like, wow. I was trying to rearrange the line. No. You the receivers. I know you go with this guy. You know, I was afraid somebody's going to get. We don't wear helmets. Somebody's going to get hurt. Some of those kids jumping up there to catch from Trevor. No. Let's change. You go here. But you know, it was pretty quick early when he got here. First of all, how prepared he was. You know, because he had been studying and had been really. But the whole January, we're on the road recruiting and doing all this, and all of a sudden you get into your season study and going through stuff, and man, he's sharp. And then last spring, when just right out of the gate, I could just tell that. I mean, he was processing it, and that's the way Deshaun was. Very similar, just mentally way ahead of a typical freshman.
Dabo, a lot of coaches run their programs in a stern way. You always seem to want to incorporate a lot of fun and joy into the grind, and even small things like getting Garrett Williams a touchdown at FSU or putting Christian in there. What is kind of your basic philosophy and approach as far as having a lot of fun while still obviously getting business done?
Well, my guys will be quick to tell you that I'm not so much fun all the time. I promise you. There's another side to Coach Swinney that y'all don't always see. Tim's smiling back there. I'm ultra competitive, and I do like to have a lot of fun. But I do not like nonchalantness and lackadaisicalness. If that's a word. I don't like that. I like focus and intensity and locked inness on what we're doing. That's what I like. And when I don't get that, then we can have some issues. But when we're we find ways to have some fun within that. But this is a game of intensity. But from a just holistic standpoint, I mean, that just goes back to our philosophy of our program. I mean, we want to graduate our players, number one. That's what we want to do. And we've done that at an incredible rate. And the second thing that I challenged our staff with when I got this job was, I want to make sure that we have a program that's equipping them with the tools they need to go and dominate in life and win outside the lines, if they're ready for what comes after football. And that's what we've done through career opportunities, social development, all the networking and micro internships and mission trips and you name it. That's all happens through our Paul journey. And then the third thing for me has always been I want our guys to have a great college experience. This is college, and I want them to have some fun along the way. There's nothing wrong with having some fun and enjoying your experience, and not having a place where people are miserable when they show up. When I walk in the room on every day for my team meeting, I don't want guys miserable to be here. I want them to know that, hey, we got a lot of work to do, but I want to enjoy each other. And I want them to really enjoy their experience to the fact that, hey, they want to come back to college. And then when they can't wait to come back and visit. They want to stay in touch. That's one of the greatest joys of my job is, just all the sons that I feel like I have out there, all the relationships, all it's every week I'm hearing from former players from years ago, guys that I coached at Alabama. And I just think that's the best part of it. But that goes back to, again, trying to make sure that your guys have a good experience. And for the most part, we've been able to do that. And then it's to win a championship. You know, that's just the foundation of our program. And I think I've done a pretty good job of that.